So I've actually spent a lot of time at the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve training for my thru hike, my first thru hike that's going to be in January. And these trails are definitely giving me the length I need for my legs and my brain to make that connection to say, hey, we're really doing this. Because after this short little hike, the 0.86 mile hike, I have reached over 20 miles here at the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve, and I will receive a t-shirt. So very happy about that. And we are very excited to continue actually hiking these trails. It's a very easy hike. There is a couple trails here that obviously have different trail treads that give you a little bit more challenge and a little bit more technical, such as the Palmetto Passage, which can be flooded, so you got to be mindful. You have some wildlife encounters here, which is very cool. And I've seen raccoons, I've seen squirrels, I even saw a turtle today, which is very cool. I've not seen a turtle yet here. They actually have a turtle in the front that they take care of, and they feed, and they have to show the groups that come here and the kids and the students. But there was one natural turtle that I saw today. That was a special treat. But these trails they're all unique, and they have their own really ecosystem. Some are swampy, wet, and then going through more of a pine tree cover, a canopy per se, that gives a lot of shade, and that would be the Palmetto Passage. We're actually on a trail right now that has some forest and thicket, but the cover of a canopy is right now non-existent. So the Florida sun is beating down. I'm just glad to have my Tilly hat on. That definitely has the benefit of keeping my head from getting burned and my face and such. But all in all, really enjoy hiking here at the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve, and I will continue hiking here as I train for the thru hike. So let's keep hiking and see what we can find. All right, as we continue to hike the Pine Circle Trail, I just want to show you there's a little section here that you can actually go to your left, and at the end of that section it says thank you for visiting. That actually is a trail section that you can take to the parking lot. That'll take you back to the nature preserve, sort of a little loop. A little bit more premature from completing the entire trail, but if we go right, which we're going, this will complete the full loop from the nature center sidewalk platform area all the way back around. And then from this angle you can actually access the Fallen Log Crossing Trail. You can also access the Palmetto Trail, and you can also access the Screech Owl Trail. So the Pine Circle Trail has access to 3 trails, whereas if you take the Fallen Log Crossing Trail more north, you can access the Tarflower Loop Trail, and you can access the Osprey Overlook Trail, which takes you out to a beautiful pavilion on a wooden boardwalk that allows you to get a little bit of shade, but also see the beautiful wetlands and ecosystem out there as well. So, benefits of doing each trail: you can do all the trails like we did today, and then some, because we were so close to the 20-mile mark that I said, you know what, I'm just going to go do one more trail. It's going to push it over 20, but I'm going to do it because I want to achieve the 20 miles here at the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve and receive my t-shirt for accomplishment of the 20-mile mark of hiking here. So hiking 20 miles, you receive a t-shirt, and they have a fun program here to be able to do that. So make sure you don't miss out on it when you arrive at the nature preserve, and before you enter the trails, there is a little kiosk that has a TV playing, and there's also a little nature center portion inside that you can kind of see what is in the surrounding area, and it gives you more of the education about the green space that we're hiking in. And I think that's great to be able to see that, and appreciate them maintaining that and having that, offering that, because not a lot of places do. However, at that same area, there's like I said, a kiosk, and you can log your hours there, and you can put your name and where you're from, and time in, time out, and then you can also put the hours you have hiked for the program. And then if there's a staff that's inside, you can go in and record that in a separate logbook that's inside where the staff offices are. So that's the one I think that counts the most, because that's the one that the staff actually initials to authenticate your hours. So, hey, it's a big deal. You spend a lot of time on these trails for the benefits of mental health, and you're coming out here sweating and being in nature, and it's an achievement. I mean, it feels good. It feels good that hey, I got the t-shirt. I haven't got it yet, but once I log my miles today, we will have over 20 miles. So very happy to share that with you, and I will show you the t-shirt when I receive it. So let's keep hiking the Pine Circle Trail, which is the additional segment today to be able to push us over 20 miles hiked at the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve. Let's keep hiking. All right, so we are crossing the main road here into and out of the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve. And there's a crosswalk you can go through, and then you're right back on the natural trail. And we're crossing first one of the fire access roads, as we continue on the Pine Circle Trail. And I really like this trail. It's an easy trail. It has the thickets here on both sides. It just definitely feels like the rest of the trails here. It hugs you. Nature's just that close, and you just feel that you're immersed in nature for just a little bit of time. But it feels good. It feels good to breathe the fresh air in here, and just the scent of the pine needles and pine trees, and the soil and the sand and the grass. It's just very peaceful, very centering. Feels good. Feels good to be out in nature, and knowing that the more time you spend out in nature, specifically quality time in nature, the more benefits you're going to have on mental health and physical health. Because right now we're finishing up almost 4.5 miles here today. I completed all the trails, and then I went to log my trails with the staff, and noticed I was just short, a little bit under half a mile of meeting the 20-mile goal of logged miles here to receive the t-shirt. So, it feels good. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna wait another day. I'm gonna go ahead and hike a short trail. This is not the shortest trail, but this is the trail that would get me that half mile that I needed to meet that 20-mile goal. But I was very happy. He said, you know what? I'm gonna do it today. I went ahead and did a mental check and a physical check and said, are we ready to do another 0.82 miles in the Pine Circle Trail? And we all agreed, me, myself, and I, that we were ready and willing. So we are just about to round out that 0.82 miles as we make that final bend there back towards the nature center. We just passed the trailhead for the Palmetto Passage, and we're continuing on the Pine Circle Trail, and we'll eventually cross the trailhead for the Screech Owl Trail. But we won't access those because we've already hiked those today, and we'll make our way back to the nature center and log these hours and receive the t-shirt. Very excited. That's a big accomplishment. 20 miles in this park. I'm sure a lot of folks have done more than that, but this has been my favorite training ground so far. I've got a couple here in Central Florida, and this is one that I like coming early in the morning or later in the afternoon, like today. And this is actually the first day that I've done all the trails in one day, in one video. So that was definitely a different feel. However, it's very doable. And it was about 3.5 miles with having to backtrack a little bit to get some of the trailheads. But all in all, just straight out and back or loop trails here will be about 3.2 miles. That's what's estimated. So, very happy to be here on the trail. And we'll shortly be back at the Nature Preserve's Nature Center. And we're crossing the Screech Owl Trailhead right now, which we, like I said, already done today. It's a fun little trail too. Kind of intersects two trails, the Pine Circle Trail and then the Fallen Log Crossing Trail. So all these names start to blur after a while. If I make a mistake, I apologize. You can see the Nature Center coming into play here right now. Let's keep hiking. All right, so we are right next to the Nature Center after hiking for the second time today the Pine Circle Trail, which is 0.82 miles, which we did for a reason, because we are now officially over 20 miles hiked total at the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve. So right now I'm going to turn, and there you can see the trailhead sign there, and I'm going to go log my hours. So thanks for being with me today, and we'll go get that t-shirt. See you on the next trail. So I just want to show my t-shirt. Woo! 20 miles, and we went ahead and were part of the Trailblazer program here at the Tibet-Butler Preserve in Orlando, Florida. And I got this beautiful t-shirt, so make sure you don't miss out on that benefit. And make sure you come out to this park. The staff is awesome. They have got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. And just talk to them. Talk to them about nature, talk to them about the preserve, and come out and hike these trails. If you're in Orlando area and you're here doing the other theme parks, come out to a real park. Come out to a park and get in nature, spend time in nature. The benefits of nature on mental health, physical health are outstanding. So make sure you come out to the Tibet-Butler Nature Preserve in Orlando, Florida.